This is Nick from TBT, and this is the TBT Hobby Channel. If you follow my other channel, you may be wondering why I'm trying to start a hobby channel, why I want to do a hobby channel. Basically, I enjoy making videos for work. They're great. It seems that you enjoy watching them, but there is so much else I enjoy doing. Playing with toys being the main one, so I figured, after having spoken to you, asked you, it seems that men of a certain age, we still enjoy playing with our toys. We particularly like playing with toys that are nostalgic or the opposite end of the scale, really technologically advanced. So I thought, okay, let's do a hobby channel, put all my toys on that one, and we can have a laugh and we can have a play. Now, radio controlled toys are what I'm primarily thinking of to start with. There are lots of channels out there doing radio control toy reviews, and they are fabulous. I've been looking at them. They're very enthusiastic. They shout a lot. They spin boxes in the air, then they get the toys out. Most of the time they destroy them to find out how strong they are, how fast they are, blah blah blah. They're getting their toys for free. I'm not. These are all my toys. I'm paying with them. I ain't breaking anything. If I give you a review, it's going to be more a review on if you've paid X amount for this toy and then you get it, you look after it, you play with it, how much fun is it going to be? Are there better options out there? That kind of thing. A more gentle, sedate, more British way of doing things. Now, this first video, I'm going to talk about radio controlled toys. I'm going to talk about my life with radio controlled toys. It started back in the 1970s, the same as I did. I always wanted a radio controlled car. From being very, very, very small, I wanted a radio controlled car. And there were some available at the time through the 70s. They tended to be a bit basic, cack, and very expensive. Lots of them were like a Sonic. Do you remember Sonic control cars where it goes along and you had this thing that went click? You could actually just clap your hands, which my dad used to do to annoy me. You go click and then it'd go into reverse, and a special pinion on the front would mean it would reverse and turn. Then it'd go forwards again, so you could race around the room as long as you were okay doing 3-point turns the whole way. It led to me being really good at 3-point turns for my driving test, but apart from that, it was just quite frustrating if you wanted to turn that way. So in, I think, 1979, Santa brought me along this, and it changed my life. It rocked my tiny little world. It is made by a French company called Joustra. It's a radio controlled version of the Talbot or Simca Matra Rancho. Now, you may remember, it's got a big whippy aerial as well. I'm going to try not to poke my eye out with it. You may remember these cars, the original one from the 70s. They're a bit cack, but if you look at it, I do think it's where Land Rover got their inspiration for the Discovery, which was to follow on 15-20 years afterwards. But anyway, the reason this was so great is it came with a digitally proportional radio controlled system. Now, that is important, and if you're looking at toys for your kids, you want to get them into it, remember, digitally proportional. What this means is, if you push it forwards a little way, it goes slowly. Further, it goes faster. All the way, fastest. Same with the steering. Push it a little way, the wheels turn a little bit. All the way, they turn full. This means you could control it, you could learn to control it, and that really was it. I played with, not this actual one, I will say, not this actual one. This is one I picked up yesterday locally. It was on Marketplace and I got it for 30 quid. It doesn't work, but I don't care. That's kind of, I don't know why it doesn't work here because I've not taken it apart. But it will be working at some point. Keep watching this channel, you'll probably find out why. So this car, it had, for a start, it had an opening boot. That meant I could put more toys inside of it. How awesome is that? We all know a toy you can put toys in or on and transport them around is the best toy. It looks kind of off-roady, but it has absolutely zero suspension, and due to the way the differential is there, absolutely zero ground clearance. But it didn't matter. I was 8. It went less than walking speed back then. But that didn't matter. Me and my friend, we started a radio controlled car club after school in the school hall, just because they had parquet flooring, that really shiny wooden stuff that you always fell over on and cracked your head open. It had that flooring. So if you went along at full speed, then put it into full reverse and full steering, it could do a little skid. That was the only reason why, and it was awesome. You can probably tell I'm enthused all over again. That's why I got into radio control cars, that's why I love them, and that's why this channel is here. This car doesn't work. It will do. If you watch my other channel, you know I love to play with things, fix things, make things better. I'm going to attempt to turn this into some kind of drifting thing, which should be fun. Anyway, I'm not going to throw it. I'm not going to throw it. I love it. I'm so happy. This led to probably, what would it have been? Christmas of 1982, 83, something like that. We get... Oh, now these have been around for a couple of years. This is a Sand Scorcher, a Tamiya Sand Scorcher. Now, it's based on the SRB chassis, which was the racing buggy, scale racing buggy, I think it stood for, which was a bit odd because there were no actual race series you could race it on. But the thing with it was, this was a buggy that came as a bag of bits and you put it together yourself. So it had to be built. Now, it came, excitingly, with suspension all round, a 540 motor, which could do incredible speeds of around 12 miles an hour standard, and if you've got one of the hopped up ones, 15 miles an hour. And we thought they were just the fastest thing in the world. They must be doing at least 50 miles an hour because they were so quick to us kids. And all the electrics went inside this sealed plastic box, which meant they were waterproof, which means we could drive them through muddy puddles. It's brilliant. The downside to it was the battery lasted about 8 minutes and took overnight to charge, and the batteries were hideously expensive, so playtime was kind of reduced. But there you go. It is still a fantastic car. I still play with it a lot. The problem with it is the same problem back then, because it's one you build up yourself. Bits are forever falling off of it. Currently, at the moment, you'll see that side has no suspension because the little spring that you can maybe see in there for this side fell out while I was driving it around the garden a couple of weeks ago when the grandkids were here. Hello, Olivia. Hello, Ismay. Fell out while the grandkids were here, so I've got to order another one of those. You're constantly replacing bits on it, but it is nevertheless an awesome toy. Now, after that, I discovered girls, BMXs, music, stuff of that ilk, and I kind of left radio control toys alone for a little while. Had a bit of a gap from it, though I still always played with them to a degree. But the next one I got was this one up here. This again isn't the original one I got. The original one of these that I got, I actually gave to my girlfriend at the time's brother Chris. I don't know if he's still got it, I hope he has. Again, it's a Tamiya. It's one you build up yourself. This one's very light and very, very fast. Now, you can see all of my toys are played with. It's filthy because it's constantly being used. This one is in mid-change. I'm trying to get it to work with a brushless system, but it's got crazy power at the moment, and I'm trying to find a way of reining that in a bit so I can actually make the wheels grip the ground and push it along in that direction rather than just spinning around till it goes all smoky and not very pleasant. But that's another work in progress that we'll see a video on at some point. Now, this one I bought in approximately 2012, 2013, something like that. It was new old stock, advertised on Facebook from a guy who'd had a shop and shut it down, so I got along there to buy it off of him, and he had all these boxed brand new kits from the 90s for sale, and he's saying to me, oh well, yes, of course, the value of this one is that everything's still in its little cellophane wrappers, it's never been opened, still got the original packaging, blah blah blah. I said, yeah, by the weekend it's going to be crashing into a curb. He was horrified, but I don't see the point in keeping toys in their box. It came out the box, it's been built, it's been used a lot. It's on, I don't know how many sets of tyres it's had, but an awful lot. So there we are. That car was very, very fast. Then, not so long ago, 7 years ago I want to say, 7 or 8 years ago, I went to see one of my customers who had a rifle he wanted me to work on, and he had a couple of cars that he wanted to sell, radio control cars, and this was one of them. It is a Charisma Porsche 959 based on the M48 chassis. Now, it was second hand when I got it, although damn sight better condition than this. just take the clips on it. You'll be able to see from that, it's been as far on its roof as it has been on its wheels. I've got gaffer tape holding it together. It's held together with silicone around the edges. I need to find another body shelf for that at some point, probably. But inside here we find a very muddy four-wheel drive system with solid axles there driving front to rear. We've got an ESC there, high power ESC, and a brushless system. Now, I am so old that I changed the radio system from its, had one of those, you know, the grip with the wheel on the side things, newfangled stuff. So I changed it over to a stick. Everything comes with one of these newfangled with a wheel on the sides now. So I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to get my head around that and learn how to drive one of these ones that goes like that. Now, this is incredibly fast. It's mind-blowingly fast, or at least I thought it was. With 3 cells, 3 cell means it's got 3 lithium polymer cells. Each lithium polymer cell has 3.7 volts. So a 2 cell produces 7.4 volts and a 3 cell produces 11.1 volts. This will take 2 or 3. I did a speed run with this, and which why it's not working at the moment, because I actually carried on driving it round and round the car park until it broke. So I've got to fix this. That will be another video. But I did a speed run with this one, and the incredibly fast speed that I achieved with it was 30 miles an hour, 49 kilometers an hour. I thought it was much faster, but obviously scale is difficult to tell. Perspective puts it all out of whack. So that's given me some kind of idea as to what to expect with some of the new stuff I've actually ordered under the pretext of using it for this channel. Of course, darling, I need to order these toys because I have an idea for a new TBT hobby channel. It's gonna be awesome. It's a 4-wheel drive car. It drifts, it goes, like I say, 30 miles an hour, and 30 miles an hour feels fast. Please keep up with these videos. The stuff I've got in the post to me at the moment is faster than that, and quite incredible, really. So that's nearly it for the ones. I mean, there are others. I don't have room or time to do them all on the one video, but the last one I actually bought for myself new, but I didn't buy for myself, Father Christmas again brought me this several years back now. This is another Tamiya. To me, radio control cars have always been Tamiya, real ones, you know, proper ones. You've got to build it yourself. Ones like this, the Charisma, well, that comes ready to run. It's a toy. That is the fastest one I've ever had. That's a toy. This is the Tundra. It's a high lift, 4-wheel drive, 3-speed manual transmission, which is awesome. Crawler. Now, it's not very good as a crawler, certainly not in the state it is at the moment, because it's got leaf springs, and although you can push it down and move the wheels, it's so bloody stiff, it spends more of its time rolling over, as you can see from all the battle scars over it. Again, this is used. This is not something I bought to sit on a shelf and look pretty. This gets driven around the garden. When my grandkids were here for the summer, Olivia, who is 5 years old, wanted to play with one of Grandad's cars, one of Grandad's toys. So this is the one we got out. You know, it's a lot of money's worth of kit, but I could put it in first gear, so it could barely do walking speed. Crack on. You know, she just walked around the garden following it along. She's absolutely loving it, and I'm hoping to keep her in the hobby. I have other crawlers. I have ideas for doing videos on crawlers. I have ideas for doing videos on the faster stuff. I've seen drifting. Now, drifting to me looks very, very childish and silly, so I will, of course, be doing that as well. Please like and subscribe to the channel, because this is new, and I need you to do that so that we can actually get the channel up and running and working. Please remember, everything you see on here I've bought, I've spent money on. I'm not really into destroying it, but I'm going to use it. And I will tell you if I think it's a load of old pony. We've got new stuff in the post. That's going to be exciting. It's going to be fast. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.